Welcome to Oakland's channel. Thanks for watching today. And we are out of the studio. We're actually traveling down here in Atlanta for today. But that's not going to stop our Nintendo Switch 2 news roundup from happening. And so actually a very positive day for Nintendo. Two very good pieces of news for their front and their company here. And I think fans are also going to be pleased at the same time. And so first off, they did announce finally about the physical Switch 2 edition games for like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Kirby Forgotten Land, Metroid Prime. For these particular games, if you order the Switch 2 edition, you're actually going to get a cart that includes the entire Switch 2 edition as well as the upgrades that are going to come from the upgrade pack. And so it's not going to be just simply a Switch 1 game and a Switch 2 case with a download code. You're actually going to get everything itself on the cartridge. So if you want to loan it out to a friend or resell it, they're going to be able to access every bit of that Switch 2 content on that individual cart. A lot of people have been worried about this in the past because they're afraid if it's going to be the Switch 1 game with a download code, it's going to be pretty much locked to that one system. Fear no more. Nintendo actually had an official statement. We'll read it here. They said the physical versions of Nintendo Switch 2 edition games will include the original Nintendo Switch game and its upgrade pack, all of the same game card, meaning they are essentially Nintendo Switch 2 game cards with no download code. Alternatively, some publishers may release Nintendo Switch 2 edition games as download codes in physical packaging with no game card. And so they're saying, like, basically other companies may do what they want, but as far as like Nintendo themselves, first-party games, the entire game itself is going to be on that card, including all of the Switch 2 upgrades, which is a big plus if you're looking to possibly download or possibly purchase the Switch 2 edition. Next up, we have very positive news for the United States of America pre-orders for the system. Obviously, we mentioned in yesterday's video that the tariffs are officially off. We're back down to 10% instead of the 46% in Vietnam. However, we actually know now exactly the numbers that Nintendo has already shipped over the United States as far as like preloading the console into stores and whatnot. And so they already announced they have over 1 million consoles already in the United States of America set to go for the pre-orders and the actual release date of June the 5th. And so if you want to put that into perspective here, only 900,000 Nintendo Switch 1 consoles were sold in the first month. And so if you have over 1 million already ready to go on the very first day, you're in much better shape for the launch than we ever anticipated. It said like 700,000 were sent over in February and over 300,000 in January. And now that the tariffs have been reduced, I'm sure they're going to send over as many as possible to get into that 90-day period, just in case an agreement is not worked out with Vietnam between now and the 90 days. Nintendo wants to have as much stock as possible in the United States of America to avoid those extra fees because they don't want to have to pass it on to the customer because then almost no one's going to buy the Switch. I mean, we've already discussed the overall pricing model. Nintendo's already asking too much from a lot of customers, and so to add more on there is simply going to be a even bigger deal. And so I think they're going to get as many as possible before that 90 days, and they've already got 1 million. So I think the pre-orders are going to be coming up very soon, and most likely it's going to be sticking at that price of $450 base model, $500 with the Mario Kart World already pre-installed on it. Now, my guess is they're probably going to announce it at some point next week. There is a Nintendo Direct for the Mario Kart World as far as like showcasing more features about it. And so possibly they're going to launch it at the close of that, say, hey, pre-orders are now live. But if I was going to guess, I would say most likely they're going to announce at the close of that when the pre-orders are going to go live, because not everyone's going to be watching the Mario Kart World Direct, or at least not as many people who are watching the actual Switch 2 Direct. And so I do feel like they're going to announce maybe like a pre-order date later on, and so people can get somewhat prepared for it. That's my guess anyway, but overall, a fairly positive day for Nintendo. We know they are very prepared for the pre-orders, and we also know that more consoles are coming over very shortly. All that's according to, I think the article is from Bloomberg. I'll try to put it on the screen here if I can. Once again, I'm filming somewhat on the go here. And then also a positive day because we actually know the full editions coming on those Switch 2 game cards, even though none of those games I'm probably going to purchase again. I mean, honestly, I've purchased them the first time. I don't see a whole lot of need to purchase the Switch 2 edition. I'm just going to pay for the upgrade if I choose to go in that particular route. Well, I take it back. Metroid Prime 4, I am going to get the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of that, and so I guess it does affect me in some way on that particular game. So I take back what I said. But overall, like I said, positive day for Nintendo. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Go out there, find a great game to play. Simply have a great rest of the day.